Look alive, sunshine. You know what it is, I am your host Shadow, and welcome to a new game that I have found on the PlayStation Store, known as The House in Fata Morgana. Normally I wouldn't play games like this, unless it was on PC. Since I have no idea how to upload stuff from PC to my YouTube channel, I'm gonna go ahead and do it this way. Alright, wait, where's my phone? Come here, phone. Thank you. Ow. Okay, I gotta set the timer. Alright, here we go. I had to definitely look up what this game was about, and honestly, it seems kind of dark. Inspect your memories, configuration. What can we do here? Sound volume. Lower music during voice playback. Yes. Okay, text. Text display rate. Opacity, auto mode, text display rate. Read text, stop, skip at choices. Button layout, X to accept, circle to cancel. Why was I about to say 0? Autosave at choices every chapter. Okay. Alright. Let's dive deep into the story now, shall we? Oh my god, there's multiple endings to this. This should be fun. You gotta love those games where they give you multiple endings. It's like, can we not? Alright, start. This game contains depictions of blood, graphic violence, and other potential disturbing content. And I could not finish that. Alright. There is a house that sits beyond dark, dense woods. Like the world fading into view after a dream. That old mansion appears before you. Without realizing it, you instinctively accept as truth the events unfolding before you. The house lives in perpetuity. No one knows who first said that the mansion was cursed. Oh yeah, hit me with that anime shit. I'll shut up. House in Fata Morgana, Dreams of the Revenants edition. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed by the name. Have mercy on me, O Father, and cast their souls into eternal damnation. Down upon a corpse. My own corpse. I was afflicted with great despair at the sight of it being dragged to the place of my crucifixion. My soul crumbled, and I was wholly extinguished. Indeed, I did once lose everything. However, as I faded into darkness everlasting, I heard a voice calling out to me. And so, I vowed once more that no matter how long it may take, how great the obstacles that stand in my way, or what form you may assume, I shall come back for you, that I must return to that house. So I ask of you, please wait until this mutilated body arrives there once more. Your consciousness, wavering like a ship at sea, was slowly drawn back to the surface. With each new breath, feeling gradually return to your fingers. Master, you could hear the pattering of rain from somewhere. Master? At the sound of a crackling fire. Wake up, Master. Creak, creak, creak. Wake up. When you came to, you were rocking back and forth in a rocking chair. The room was dimly lit. Aside from the flickering of the fireplace, there was no other illumination. No light shone through the closed windows. There was only the pitter-patter of rain on the glass. It was as though the whole mansion had been enveloped in darkness. Oh, splendid. You have finally awoken. Someone called out to you. You were about to search the room, but that turned out to be unnecessary. The source of the voice was crouching beside the chair, looking up at you with emerald eyes. Oh, hello. Good morning, Master. What is the matter? Are you still waking up? You seem rather drowsy. Come now, you must gather yourself. No, I am glad to hear your voice. I have simply been waiting so long for this moment. Tending to the mansion all by my lonesome, ensuring it was ready for your return, whenever that time may be. When I caught sight of you through the window, my heart fluttered. The time had finally arrived. You were perplexed. This woman who looked like a maid seemed to know you, but you had no memory of her. What kind of herbal tea would you like to start your day with? I have some wonderful chamomile leaves, if you like. Or perhaps your tastes have changed since last we met. Tell me, Master, what would you like? I beg your pardon. I allowed myself to get too excited. But I hope you will be sympathetic, Master. I'm just utterly elated that I could see you again. The woman appeared to be genuinely delighted that you had awakened, but she seemed to lack the energy typical of her age. Or perhaps life was more appropriate word than energy. But the gloom extended beyond the maid. It seemed to encompass the entire mansion. The plaster walls illuminated by the fireplace and the rose engravings in the ebony pillars felt vaguely familiar. But a crushing sense of claustrophobia overpowered the familiarity. Excuse me. It seems as though the house wasn't interested in accepting you just yet.
Oh my, you do not know who I am? Do you not know who you are either? That is quite the predicament. If you cannot remember who you are, then who am I to serve?
The woman's face was pale, almost as though she... A faint chill ran down your spine.
You are the master of this house, though it would seem you have no memories of such. Quite the dilemma. If you know not who you are, then you are no different than a stranger to me, no? Indeed, you have returned, but from where? That I cannot say. Then how about this? I am a servant of this mansion, and as such, I am familiar with the many incidents that have taken place here. I shall show you the history of this house, master. That will surely allow you to recall who you are.
The freshly awakened gears in your head began to turn as you mulled things over. The maid had called you the master of this house, but without a single mirror in the room, you had no way of seeing what you looked like. Unable to decide, you reflexively nodded.
Let us be off then. And fear not, I merely entreat you not to let go of my hand. Should you hold it tightly, you need not worry about being washed away by the waves of history. No matter what happens, you mustn't let go of my hand.
Your hand in hers, you followed the maid's lead through the hall. The air within the mansion was oppressive, as though a black miasma hovered within. The house was bleak and barren, hardly a trace of color to be found. You came across an open window. Beyond it lay nothing but darkness. Neither sunlight nor moonlight could be seen. There were no chirping birds, no rustling grass, no signs of life at all. Everything that would normally give color to the world had vanished entirely. The only other presence was that of the maid. Following her lead, you proceed through the mansion. After some time, you arrived at a double door, the glass within shattered. The door, once pure white, had long since faded into a dull gray. It appeared to lead to the back garden. You could hear children laughing on the other side.
Though it is the state you now see it, a beautiful, beautiful garden once lay beyond these doors. The owner of the time enjoyed gathering rare species of rose from all across the world. At its grandest, it seemed every flower was in constant competition for the most majestic bloom. Would you like to see this wonderful era of splendor and prosperity? I very much hope it is to your liking, master.
The maid opened the doors to the back garden. A sudden gust of wind brushed across your face, forcing you to close your eyes as you followed the maid out the doors. When you next opened your eyes, the world was no longer blanketed in shadows. The first door, 1603. The mansion had an alluring air of beauty about it in that era. It was almost like something out of a fairy tale. This period of history could perhaps be described as a symphony of destruction, as cumbersome principles of old came crashing down. Freed from the day-to-day oppression of these antiquated precepts, the people seemed
to hark back to the more poetic, expressive ways of old. They took these newly blossoming emotions in hand, and with them they wrote literature, painted portraits, composed theater, and found love. Even the church, which had maintained authority throughout the Middle Ages, embraced the changing times, adopting the culture's flowering sense, the aesthetic. War would break out not 20 years from then, plucking the ripened era from the tree of history. But that is of no concern to us now. I can't take this seriously now because of the music. Sorry. Get it together, Shadow. At the time, it was still what people referred to as the Golden Age, a period of fur for all who were there. Now, let us take a slight detour. No, we will not be changing locations. This is a tale about the mansion, from beginning to end. We will, however, be moving through time. Say, about 8 years into the past. A very wealthy family lived in the house then. The mother and father, brother and sister all had distinctive, beautiful flaxen hair. I was always enamored by their hair. By contrast, mine is the color of a wet crow. See, there I am, standing around looking rather a fool. I was happy back then. And what reason did I have not to be? Afforded the opportunity to attend to such a beautiful home. So I poured my heart into serving that family. Listen closely, if you would. That soft, fleeting sound that could only be a young girl singing. Can you hear it? La la la, la 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 la. The girl you see cheerfully picking crimson roses and singing like a songbird was called Nellie. Though young, she sang with elegance. Nellie was deeply fond of the house's garden, and she would often spend her afternoons there. Gorgeous roses gathered from all across the world bloomed in the garden. They were given the utmost care and even had their thorns removed. The young Naomi would not hurt herself naturally. The light brown-haired girl carefully plucked petals from these roses, gathering them as she sang. Her voice was like music played by fairies. Nay, the sight of her was like an angel descending from heaven. Oh dear, please do not look at me like that. I admit I was being rather fanciful. But what is a woman if not fanciful? Little bird, singing night and day. For your little birdie heart, sing your woes away. Pretty flowers all around the little birds. And even when the sun comes up, oh, dearest Mal, I've forgotten what comes next. Are you listening? Nellie was, as a matter of fact, not the only visitor to the rose garden that day. She always came with her older brother Mel. The youngest siblings were inseparable. Mel adored his little sister, who in turn pined for his attention. The sight of the two innocent children cuddling together, not yet shackled by fear for the future, was truly heartwarming. That day, Mel was sitting in the shade of a tree reading a book. As I am sure you are aware, in their time, books could not be mass-produced. What he was reading had been copied by a scribe. I presume he had borrowed it from the church. The book, having passed through many hands over many years, was visibly worn, but I suppose that just speaks to its importance. It was in fact a Latin grammar textbook he was reading. Is there a way to change the volume for this? Okay, so there's autosave. Quick save complete. Nope, that's not what I want. There we go. Sorry, I just had to dial down the music volume because it was blasting in my ear. Alright, there we go. We'll go ahead and make a save file here, just, there we go. Alright, back to the story. Mel was a clever boy. He had attended church from a very young age, where a priest would instruct him in Latin grammar. So at the time, I believe he was capable of reading even advanced texts. Oh, dearest Mel, please. I just completely switched the voices around. God damn it. The young girl approached her brother, who was consumed by the text. In her hands she carried a large pile of rose petals. Though his sister's shadow overlapped with the trees, the boy still did not notice. So Nellie puffed her cheeks, thrust out her slender arms, and let the petals fall. Ah!
Look, your head is covered in roses, Mel.
Oh, Nell. You got petals on the book. This isn't mine. I can't afford to let it get dirty.
It's your fault, dearest Mel. I tried to get your attention. And besides, flowers won't get a book dirty.
I must raise a white flag. When did my little lady find herself such a sharp wit?
While waiting for you, dearest Mel.
Sorry, I know that voice is creepy, but what can I do? I'm improvising here.
I waited and waited, and you didn't so much as a glance at me. I'll be an adult by the time you're done reading that book.
Wow, that soon?
Not soon. Mother says girls grow up fast.
She may be right. In that case, we should do something together before you're all grown up. Surely you won't play with me any longer when you become an adult.
That's not true. I'll still play with you even when I'm grown up.
But grown-ups don't play, Nellie.
Fine. I'll stay a child forever then.
Didn't you just say you were about to grow up?
You're so mean, Mel.
I'm sorry. Please don't pout, my little lady. How about this? To make it up to you, I'll play whatever you want today.
Really? Do you mean it? I want to play make-believe.
Make-believe?
Make-believe. I will be a princess taken captive by an evil kingdom, and you, dearest Mel, will be my valiant knight. And then you turn into a prince when you rescue me.
A knight can become a prince? Impressive.
They can! Knights and princes both had to be charming, so of course they can. Which is why it must be you, dearest Mel. No one else can be my prince or my knight.
Well, he may have appeared outwardly embarrassed of his rose, cheeked sister proclaimed prattlingly. I am certain he was smiling on the inside. After a few moments, he meekly knelt, bringing himself to eye level with Nellie, and gently stroked her soft hair. All right then. You're my Princess Nellie.
And not just anyone's princess, dearest Mel, but yours alone. So, don't be anyone else's prince but mine, okay?
Nellie. Jeez, my princess is quite a fawner.
Is that bad? Does that make you dislike me?
Not at all. I'm proud to have you as my sister, Nellie. You mean more to me than anything in the world, my dearest princess.
I love you, dearest Mel. You'll always be my prince forever and ever.
Her mood quite improved. Nellie began humming the melody of the song she had forgotten the lyrics to. Holding the skirt of her dress out from her body, the young girl pranced about the rose garden. Mel, his eyes on her back, gave a little shrug. Oh, Nellie, don't come crying to me if you trip running like that. But Mel was not entirely disapproving of his sister's excitement. He carefully brushed aside the petals on his book, set it in the shade of the tree, and began chasing after Nellie. They were picturesque siblings, brimming with hope. And at this time in their lives, there was nothing to jeopardize that hope. Would it not be wonderful if children could stay children forever, Master? As I see it, though, the pleasant, gentle times in our lives have value because they come to an end. Wouldn't you agree? Time continues to flow, impartial and without exception. And as such, everyone's childhood comes to an end. But that as it may, does time also flow at the same speed for each individual? Now, let us take a trip down the river of time. I would be very much delighted if we could remain at this point in time, but unfortunately, we cannot. Please do not let go of my hand, Master. I'll be on my way then.
Oh, you usually stay longer.
Yes, I have an errand to run today. Thank you for your time, as always. Would you like the book back sometime next week?
Next week, or the week after. Hold on to it as long as you'd like.
But surely there are others who want to use it.
None as sharp as you, Mel. Put yourself in my shoes, and you'll understand. I want to give you any advantage you can get. Oh, do you not believe me?
No, I believe you, Father. And I mean to do whatever I can not to disappoint you.
That's the spirit. If you need anything, do not hesitate to ask. I'm proud to have you as my pupil. And yes, and Mel, do consider what we were talking about.
Going to university?
Indeed. If you do, I can introduce you to some accomplished instructors. There is very little left for me to teach you, and I believe you would make a fine priest. It's an honorable thing, Mel, to devote yourself to the service of our Lord.
I'll give it some thought. If you'll excuse me, then. I'll see you again.
Our doors are always open.
Hang on. One moment. Indigestion, excuse me. I never drink more than 1 cup of coffee, and I'm making that mistake right now. Anyway.
Farewell. Whether it's in the service of God or the service of the church, it is an honorable profession. But theology? I wouldn't mind attending university, but I'm not sure. I'd kind of like to do something different, something more befitting of the times. As for what, though, I'm stumped. But I need to make up my mind soon. If I drag my feet for too long, even my father is liable to grow impatient. Mercy me.
Young sire, blessed young sire, alms for the poor.
Huh? This beggar. If I'm not mistaken, he's been outside the church since last week.
Alms.
The way he shakes his head, I can get a glimpse of his forehead under his hood. He's completely bald. Buy yourself some bread with this.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. May the Lord bless your soul.
Thanks. The Lord. Oh no! Nellie's gonna be cross if I don't hurry home. Curses! And it looks like it's going to rain.
Master?
Excuse me. Master? Master? Oh, thank goodness. You appeared to have a firm grasp on your consciousness. I was afraid you had accidentally let go of my hand. Now, Master, this is the period of time I truly wished to show you. The boy reading in the roses garden was now a fine young man. Nonetheless, he still bore the same gentle eyes as before, and he would from time to time show remnants of that innocent young boy. He was, in his own mind, still making the transition into adulthood, I suspect. Mel frequently visited the church on Sundays to participate in Mass, of course, but more often to be tutored by the priest. In addition, he also attended a private school run by a eminent marquis. Although it was not a school where students had desks and sat in rows, they studied at the Marquis estate. A secondary and higher education was not the same as it is today, and Mel was not considering Mel was considering university. The priest wanted to recruit him to the church, but Mel was having difficulty deciding what he should do. That he had such a choice is envious, is it not?
My right arm is starting to fall asleep.
Good afternoon. I'm here to pick up my order. Is it ready? Ah, yes. Ready and waiting, young Master Rhodes. Oh, do not call me young master, please. I beg your pardon. Kane seemed to get me head out of the past. Ye orders right here, sir. Your orders right here, sir.
Wow, I can't even figure out which path this accent and dialogue is going. Forgive me, I'm still new to this sort of thing. And my right arm is going numb. Damn it!
Mill had stopped at the jewelry store in center of town on his way back from the church. The building was both a workshop and storefront, and the nobles of the area were deeply fond of the master's wares. He was so skilled even the royal family had commissioned work from him. As a matter of fact, the wooden sign out front was engraved with a replica of a piece of the jewelry said to be on display in the palace. His artistry flourished in this golden age. The number of shops selling luxurious items, such as jewelry, rose in kind. However, the clientele of these shops comprised a very narrow range of people. May I have a look? Of course, of course!
Excuse me. I had to burp. You know what? Until I can get more practice in, I'm gonna go ahead and end the first episode here. If you kept up with me this far and you've enjoyed what you've seen, go ahead and leave I know my own outro, shut up. If you kept up with me this far and you like what you've seen, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to remain updated for any further content that I have planned in the future, hit that subscribe button and the bell on the side. And if you have any other game recommendations like this or any others in the future, leave a comment in the box below. I'll see you guys in the next episode of The House of Fata Morgana. Until then, everyone, stay gold. I'm definitely gonna have to practice that one.